Look around you. This world is not designed for you to win. It is designed to keep you distracted, entertained, and average. Your attention is being farmed. Your potential is being capped. Every notification, every feed, every opinion is a chain, holding you to the person you are, not the person you could become. To forge a new identity, you must first disappear. This is not a suggestion. This is a protocol. It is called ghost mode. It is a period of strategic, silent isolation where you will execute the autopsy of your old self and build a new one from the ground up. Listen closely. Your transformation begins now. Chapter 1. You are a product, not a person. Let us begin with a truth you feel in your bones but have refused to accept. A truth that, once seen, cannot be unseen. It is the foundational principle of the modern world, and it is the invisible prison in which you live. You are not a person. You are a product. To the systems that govern your life, you are not a human being with dreams, goals, and a unique potential to be fulfilled. You are a collection of data points. You are a profile to be analyzed. You are a pair of eyeballs to be sold to the highest bidder. And your most valuable asset, the one thing they are all fighting to steal from you, is your attention. You believe you use free services. This is the first and most dangerous illusion you must shatter. Nothing is free. You are paying for every search, every video, every post, and every scroll. You are just not paying with money. You are paying with your life. You are paying with your focus. You are paying with the finite, non-renewable resource of your time on this earth. This is the attention economy. It is the largest and most sophisticated battlefield in human history, and you are not a soldier. You are the territory being fought over. Every corporation, every algorithm, every media company has one single, unifying goal: to capture and hold your attention for as long as possible. Your success is irrelevant to them. Your well-being is irrelevant. Your fulfillment is a non-factor. Their only metric is your engagement. And engagement is just a sterile, corporate word for distraction. The tools they use to hunt you are the most advanced ever created. They are algorithms built by geniuses, designed to understand your psychology better than you understand it yourself. They know your fears. They know your desires. They know what makes you angry, and they know what gives you a cheap, fleeting hit of pleasure. It's not about you being weak, it's about you being outmatched. You, with your limited willpower and your ancient, distractible brain, are going up against supercomputers whose only job, 24 hours a day, is to figure out how to keep you hooked. You cannot win this game. You can only refuse to play. Let's make this brutally clear. Let's analyze the weapon they use against you every single day. The infinite scroll. You pick up your phone. You have a clear, specific intention. You need to check one message or look up one piece of information. You open the app, and the trap is sprung. The hunt begins. The moment the feed loads, the algorithm goes to work. It doesn't show you what you need to see. It shows you what it knows will keep you there. First, a post from a friend to create a sense of social connection. Then, a political headline it knows will make you angry, because anger is a powerful hook. Then, a short, funny video to give you a quick hit of dopamine, a tiny reward to keep you playing the game. Then, an image that triggers your envy. Then, a notification from someone who replied to your comment, feeding your ego. It is a perfectly tailored, neurologically irresistible stream of stimulus. Each scroll is a pull of the lever on a digital slot machine. And you keep pulling, and pulling, and pulling, hoping for the next small reward, the next little hit. An hour passes. You finally look up from the screen. Your original intention, the reason you picked up the phone in the first place, is completely gone. Your mind feels foggy. You are agitated, unfocused, and mentally depleted. You have just spent 60 minutes of your life paying a machine to distract you. The algorithm has successfully harvested your attention, and in exchange, you have received nothing of value. You have been farmed. Your attention is your currency. Stop giving it away for free. The cost of this transaction is not just the wasted hour. The true cost is the life you are not living. It is the book you did not write during that hour. It is the business plan you did not draft. It is the new skill you did not practice. It is the deep, meaningful thought you never had because your mind was occupied with meaningless noise. This is a silent theft of your potential, happening every single day. The system is designed to keep you just stimulated enough to be a good product, and just distracted enough that you never find the focus to become a great person. That's the key. To keep you consuming, not creating. You have a choice. This is not a system you have to participate in. The first step of the ghost mode protocol is simply to see the prison for what it is. To see the bars. You must stop being a willing participant in your own harvesting. You must begin to see every notification, every trending topic, and every recommended feed not as a convenience, but as a threat. A threat to your focus. A threat to your goals. A threat to the person you could become. You don't need their permission to disappear. You don't need the algorithm's approval to log off. Your attention is your currency. Stop giving it away for free. Now you see the external enemy, the system designed to keep you trapped. But this system is so effective because it has a powerful accomplice. It has an inside agent. That agent is your own ego, your own deep-seated need to be seen, to be heard, and to be validated. The machine hooks you, but it is your own addiction to the spotlight that keeps you chained to it. Before you can disappear from the world, you must first confront your desperate need to be noticed by it. That is our next mission, in Chapter 2, The Addiction to Being Seen. Chapter 2, The Addiction to Being Seen. You now see the external enemy. The system, the attention economy, the machine designed to farm you for your focus. But that machine is only half the trap. It is so effective because it has a willing accomplice on the inside. An agent working against you from within your own mind. That agent is your ego. And its deadliest weapon is your addiction to being seen. You have been conditioned to believe that a life unobserved is a life unlived. You feel a desperate, gnawing hunger for external validation. You crave the approval of the crowd, the nod from the stranger, the digital applause of the online audience. You believe this validation is a source of strength. It is not. It is the most dangerous drug you will ever take. Announcing your plans, posting your progress, and talking about the work you are about to do is the single greatest act of self-sabotage you can commit. It is the premature celebration that guarantees the loss. Because when you talk about the work instead of doing the work, you are no longer a builder. You have become a performer. There is a psychological flaw in your programming that the modern world exploits masterfully. When you announce a goal to others, your brain gives you a small hit of dopamine, a chemical reward that makes you feel a sense of accomplishment. You get the satisfaction of the victory without ever fighting the battle. You are tricking your own mind into believing progress has been made, when all you have done is move your lips. It's not about sharing your journey, it's about protecting your mission. When you invite the world into your process, you invite in their doubts, their fears, their unsolicited advice, and their distracting praise. Your mission is no longer your own. It becomes a public performance, and you are now accountable to a fickle audience that does not care if you succeed. Let's watch this addiction play out in a scenario you have seen 1,000 times. The new fitness journey. An individual wakes up one morning, filled with a powerful and genuine motivation to change. They decide, today is the day. They are going to get in the best shape of their life. But what is their first action? It is not to put on their running shoes. It is not to clear the junk food from their pantry. It is to pick up their phone. They post a picture of their new gym membership card. They write a long caption about their commitment. Day 1 of my transformation. Follow my journey. The likes and comments immediately pour in. You can do it. So proud of you. This is so inspiring. They are flooded with a powerful rush of validation. It feels incredible. It feels like a victory. But they have not done a single push-up. They have not lifted a single weight. They have been rewarded for an intention, not an action. A week later, the real work begins. The soreness. The exhaustion. The boring, repetitive reality of discipline. And the validation begins to fade. The likes on their posts dwindle. The comments stop. Now, all that is left is the work. But their brain has been conditioned to get a reward before the work. Their motivation was tied to the external praise, not the internal resolve. And when the praise disappears, so does the motivation. The journey ends. The addiction wins. Now, consider the practitioner of ghost mode. They wake up with the same motivation. But their first action is silence. They tell no one. They post nothing. They simply put on their shoes and go for a run. The next day, they go to the gym. They are anonymous. No one is watching. No one is cheering. Their only fuel is the quiet, unbreakable contract they have made with themselves. Their only reward is the feeling of tired muscles and the knowledge that they did what they said they would do. 90 days later, the first person is back where they started, perhaps posting about a new journey. The second person is transformed. They did not get a single like. They got results. Validation is a drug for the weak. Starve the addiction. You must understand this critical distinction. You are either a performer or a builder. You have a choice. The performer's energy is divided. 50% goes to the work, and 50% goes to documenting the work, presenting the work, and worrying about how the work is being perceived. The builder's energy is absolute. 100% goes to the work. That's the key. The performer seeks an audience. The builder seeks solitude. The performer craves praise. The builder craves progress. The performer wants to be known. The builder wants to be effective. You cannot be both. Your new discipline is to embrace obscurity. To find a deep and profound satisfaction in unseen effort. You must learn to love the work that no one will ever clap for. Your goals are now classified information. Your plans are executed on a need-to-know basis, and no one needs to know. Your progress is a secret between you and you alone. You don't need their permission to build in silence. You don't need their applause to fuel your discipline. You must become your own source of validation. The knowledge that you are honoring your own internal code must be more satisfying than the roar of any crowd. Validation is a drug for the weak. Starve the addiction. You now understand the two great enemies of your transformation. The external enemy is the attention economy, the system that wants to keep you distracted. The internal enemy is your addiction to being seen, the ego that wants to keep you performing. You have made the decision. You will reject the noise of the world, and you will starve the addiction within. You are ready to disappear. Now, it is time to move from theory to action. It is time for the practical, surgical, and decisive steps that will allow you to enter ghost mode. It is time to learn how to vanish from the world so you can finally find yourself. Our next chapter is your instruction manual. Chapter 3, Severing the Anchors, the Art of Disconnection. Chapter 3, Severing the Anchors, the Art of Disconnection. The time for theory is over. The time for contemplation has passed. You have made the decision. You see the external trap of the attention economy and the internal trap of your own ego. Now comes the action. Now comes the moment that separates the talker from the builder. Your life, as it currently exists, is a ship that believes it is ready to sail, but it is held in place by 1,000 invisible anchors. Each anchor is a social media feed, a news alert, a group chat, a streaming service, an endless stream of notifications. Each one is a tether to the world of noise, distraction, and mediocrity. You cannot begin the work of building a new self until you sever these anchors. Not loosen them. Not manage them. Sever them. This is not a gentle detox. This is a deliberate and decisive amputation of every single thing that does not serve your mission. There is a comfortable lie that the weak tell themselves. The lie of moderation. They say, I'll just cut back a little, or I'll just use it for 10 minutes a day. This is the logic of the addict, and it is a guaranteed path to failure. You must understand, the systems you are fighting are designed by geniuses to defeat your willpower. The algorithm is more disciplined than you are. The notification is more patient than you are. To believe you can win a battle of willpower against a supercomputer is the height of arrogance. It's not about being weak-willed, it's about being strategic. The only winning move is to refuse to fight. The only victory comes from elimination. This is your protocol. These are your orders. This is not a list of suggestions. It is a checklist for your liberation. You will execute it now. Step 1, the digital amputation. Pick up your phone. Look at the screen. See each app for what it is, an anchor. Now, you will perform the surgery. Delete your social media apps. All of them. Do not just log out. Do not just move them to a different folder. Press and hold the icon until it shakes, and press the button to delete it from your device. It must feel like a final, irreversible act. Now, do the same for your news apps. Your gossip apps. Your endless scrolling entertainment apps. If it is not a tool that directly contributes to your mission, it is a poison that must be removed. Step 2, the silent treatment. Go into your phone settings. Find the notifications panel. Now, you will declare a war on noise. Turn off every single notification. Every banner, every buzz, every beep. The only exceptions are direct phone calls and perhaps messages from a tiny, pre-approved list of essential people, a spouse, a child. Everyone and everything else is silenced. Your phone is no longer a device that screams for your attention. It is a silent tool that waits for your command. That's the key. You are in charge now, not the machine. Step 3, the digital blockade. Your phone is secure. Now, move to your computer. The battlefield is larger here, but the principle is the same. Install a website blocker. Be ruthless. Create a blacklist of every single site that has ever stolen your focus. Social media. News sites. Sports sites. Video streaming sites. Any digital rabbit hole that you have fallen down in the past is now sealed off. Your computer is no longer a portal for consumption. It is a workstation for creation. Step 4, the strategic communique. You cannot disappear without a trace. That creates worry and chaos. Instead, you will be strategic. Craft one, single, clear message. It will say this: I am entering a period of intense, focused work for the next 90 days. To do this, I will be completely offline. This is a positive and necessary step for me. I will reach out when I surface. This message is not a negotiation. It is a declaration. It goes to a handful of people, your immediate family, your partner, perhaps your direct boss. It does not go to your friends. It does not go to your extended family. It is not posted on your timeline as a grand announcement. You don't need their permission to build your life. You don't need their approval. You owe them nothing but your results. As you do this, your guard, the primitive animal in your brain, will scream in terror. This is the fear of missing out. The fear of being forgotten. The fear of being disconnected. You must reframe this fear. The only thing you should fear is looking back in a year and being the exact same person. The only thing you should fear is mediocrity. The only thing you should fear is missing out on your own potential. You have a choice: the temporary, manufactured anxiety of missing a post, or the permanent, soul-crushing regret of a life unlived. Cut the noise. You cannot build in a war zone. Your mind, right now, is a battlefield. It is constantly being bombarded by incoming fire. You cannot think, plan, or build anything of value amidst constant explosions and distractions. This protocol is you, the commander, ordering a full retreat to a secure location. Cut the noise. You cannot build in a war zone. The anchors are now severed. The lines are cut. You are adrift in a sea of silence for the first time in your life. It may feel empty. It may feel uncomfortable. This is normal. You have cleared the land. You have torn down the old, rotten structures. This silence is not a void. It is a construction site. Now that the site is clear, it is time to lay the foundation. It is time to draw the blueprints for your transformation. It is time to build the walls of the sanctuary where your new self will be forged. That is our mission in Chapter 4, the 4 walls of your fortress. Chapter 4, the 4 walls of your fortress. The anchors have been severed. The world has been silenced. You have successfully cleared the ground. For the first time in years, there is quiet. But do not mistake this quiet for peace. An empty field is not a fortress. An empty field is a place of chaos, open to attack from all sides. You have been taught that freedom is the absence of rules. This is a lie told to keep you weak and disorganized. True freedom, tactical freedom, is found within a structure that you build for yourself. A structure that protects your focus from the world, and from your own worst impulses. This chapter is the blueprint for that structure. We will now build the sanctuary where your transformation will occur. We will construct the 4 walls of your fortress. These are not guidelines. They are the absolute, non-negotiable laws of the Ghost Mode protocol. You will obey them without question. The first wall of your fortress is the one objective. During your time in Ghost Mode, you will have one, and only one, primary objective. Not 2. Not 3. 1. The undisciplined mind is a scattered mind. It chases a dozen goals at once and, as a result, never achieves any of them. Multitasking is a myth propagated by the perpetually distracted. True, world-changing progress comes from a singular, relentless, obsessive focus. It's not about being limited, it's about being lethal. A scattered beam of light is harmless. The same light, focused into a laser, can cut through steel. Your focus is that light. You must choose one target. This objective must be defined with absolute, mathematical clarity. Get in better shape is not an objective. It is a wish. Lose 20 pounds and run a 5K in under 30 minutes is an objective. Start a business is not an objective. Build a functional website and secure one paying client is an objective. You have a choice: you can chase many things and catch nothing, or you can choose one target and conquer it. The second wall is the rigid schedule. Inside the fortress, your feelings do not matter. Your motivation is irrelevant. Your inspiration is not required. The only thing that matters is the schedule. Your schedule is your new commanding officer. You will follow its orders without negotiation. Motivation is a fleeting, unreliable emotion. Discipline is a system. The schedule is that system. If you have decided that you will work on your objective from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. every morning, then that is what you will do. You will do it if you are tired. You will do it if you are bored. You will do it if you are filled with self-doubt. You do not need your own permission to follow the orders you have already given yourself. Let's take our example, the writer whose objective is to finish an 80,000-word first draft in 90 days. Their schedule dictates that they write from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every single day. When the alarm goes off, there is no internal debate. There is no snooze button. The order has been given. The feet hit the floor. The work begins. The schedule is the law. The third wall is the controlled environment. Your external world is a direct reflection of your internal world. A cluttered, chaotic environment creates a cluttered, chaotic mind. Your workspace must become a sanctuary of absolute focus. It must be as clean, as sharp, and as singular in its purpose as your objective. This means you will now declare war on clutter. You will look at your desk, your room, your place of work, and you will remove every single object that does not directly serve your mission. Every distraction. Every piece of memorabilia. Every object that pulls your mind into the past or into a different context must be removed. The writer's desk does not have stacks of old mail. It does not have pictures. It does not have a television in the corner. It has a chair, a table, and a laptop with its Wi-Fi disabled. Nothing else. This minimalist environment sends a constant, powerful signal to the brain: this is a place of work. This is a place of creation. There is nothing to do here but the one thing that matters. Your environment must enforce your discipline. That's the key. The fourth and final wall is the zero-consumption diet. In the last chapter, you cut out the obvious noise, social media, news, and notifications. Now, you will go deeper. You will eliminate all irrelevant input. You are not just on a digital diet, you are on an information diet. Your mind must become a sealed system. This means no random podcasts. No unrelated audiobooks. No television shows to wind down. No browsing YouTube for entertainment. The only information you will consume is information that is directly required for you to achieve your one objective. The writer can read books on the craft of storytelling. They can read books that serve as research for their novel. They cannot read the latest bestseller for fun. They cannot listen to a political podcast. They cannot watch a documentary that has nothing to do with their work. All of that is noise. All of it is a distraction. And it is all forbidden by the protocol. You must starve your mind of all input that is not mission critical. These are the four walls. A single objective. A rigid schedule. A controlled environment. And a zero-consumption diet. This structure is your sanctuary. It is not a prison. It is the architecture of your freedom. It is the system designed to protect you from the chaos of the outside world and the weakness of your old self. It creates the perfect, sterile environment for deep, transformative work. The structure is the sanctuary. Obey the protocol. The fortress is now built. The rules of engagement are clear. The perimeter is secure. It is time to step inside, lock the gate, and begin the real work. The work that can only be done in total, uninterrupted silence. That is your next command, in Chapter 5, Build in Silence, or your ego will destroy you. Chapter 5, Build in Silence, or your ego will destroy you. The fortress is built. The world has been silenced. The perimeter is secure. You have created the perfect, sterile environment for deep work. But the greatest threat to your mission is not outside the walls. It has been inside with you all along. The threat is your ego. It is the part of you that craves an audience. The part that whispers, "Wouldn't it be great if people could see how hard you're working?" The part that daydreams about the praise you will receive when the work is done. That voice is not your ally. It is your saboteur. And if you listen to it, it will poison your work and destroy your transformation before it has even begun. This is the central law of the work done in ghost mode. It must be done in absolute, unquestionable secrecy. The moment you begin to think about how your effort will be perceived by an audience, you have already failed. An audience corrupts the process. It does not matter if the audience is 1 person or 1 million. The moment you are being watched, you cease to be a builder and you become a performer. An audience creates pressure. You start making choices designed to impress them, not choices designed to serve the work. You take the safe route instead of the ambitious one. More dangerously, an audience creates a fear of failure. True mastery, true creation, is forged in the fire of experimentation. It requires you to try things that might not work. It requires you to look foolish. It requires you to fail, and fail, and fail again until you succeed. This is impossible when you are being watched. You will not risk public failure, so you will never attempt true innovation. It's not about being shy, it's about being effective. Silence is the laboratory where you are free to fail. Let's watch this play out. Let's observe 2 programmers, both tasked with building a complex new piece of software. The first programmer is a performer. He decides to live stream his entire process. He is charismatic. He explains every line of code to his audience. He answers questions from the chat. He is building a personal brand. People are impressed by his transparency and his skill. But his progress is agonizingly slow. He writes careful, simple code, because he is terrified of a bug causing the program to crash live on stream. He avoids the complex, experimental solutions because he cannot guarantee they will work, and he cannot risk looking incompetent. His mental energy is split, 50% on the code, 50% on the performance. He is building, but he is also entertaining. The second programmer is a builder. She enters ghost mode. She tells no one what she is working on. Her phone is off. Her door is closed. She works in total, absolute silence. She writes 1,000 lines of ambitious, complex code. She runs the program, and it fails spectacularly. It is a complete disaster. She feels a flash of frustration, but she feels no shame. There is no audience. There is no one to judge her. She calmly deletes the entire block of code and starts again, this time with a new insight gained from her failure. She builds, breaks, and rebuilds 3 different versions of the software in a single month. At the end of the month, the performer has a small, working feature and a few more followers. The builder has a revolutionary, powerful, and ruthlessly efficient program. The performer optimized for perception. The builder optimized for results. That's the key. Do the work, not the performance of the work. This must be your guiding principle inside the fortress. You must learn to find a deep, intrinsic satisfaction in the process itself, completely divorced from any potential for external praise. When you work in secret, your motives are pure. You are not working for likes. You are not working for comments. You are not working for the approval of your parents or the envy of your peers. You are working for the work. You are building for the sake of building. You have a choice. You can have the cheap, fleeting satisfaction of telling people what you are going to do. Or you can have the deep, permanent power that comes from actually doing it. You cannot have both. You don't need their permission to be proud of an effort that no one else will ever see. Do the work, not the performance of the work. This is the discipline that separates the amateur from the master. The amateur needs applause to continue. The master is fueled by the process itself. You must fall in love with the unseen effort. You must learn to cherish the silent hours of struggle, the frustrating dead ends, the small, incremental breakthroughs that only you will ever know about. This is the source of true, unshakable self-respect. It is earned in private. Now that the fortress is built and the work has begun, you must understand that ghost mode is for more than just building new skills. It is also for destroying old weaknesses. The silence and focus you have cultivated are not just tools for creation. They are the perfect weapons for annihilation. To build a new identity, you cannot simply add new habits and skills on top of the old you. The old foundation is rotten. It is compromised by your past failures, your limiting beliefs, and your hidden weaknesses. You must use the silence of your fortress not just to build, but to demolish. That is your next, most difficult task. Our work now is in Chapter 6, Execute the Autopsy of Your Old Self. Chapter 6, Execute the Autopsy of Your Old Self. The fortress is secure. The world is silent. You have begun the work. You are building new habits, focusing on your one objective, and living by the protocol. This is good. But it is not enough. You are adding new, strong bricks to the top of a foundation that is rotten to its core. You are painting a fresh coat over a wall that is crumbling from the inside. The work you are doing is a noble effort, but it is destined to fail. Because you are trying to build a new life on top of the ruins of the old one. The true, deep, and permanent work of transformation is not addition. It is subtraction. It is demolition. Before you can become the person you want to be, you must first conduct a cold, brutal, and emotionless autopsy on the person you are right now. You must identify the rot in your own foundation, and you must burn it out. The person you are today is a collection of compromises. Your personality, your habits, your beliefs, they are a patchwork of defense mechanisms you created to survive a world of distraction and mediocrity. Your tendency to procrastinate. Your fear of what others will think. Your habit of seeking comfort over progress. These are not cute quirks. They are cancers. They are the core programming of a failed identity, and they will sabotage every new effort you make. This process will be uncomfortable. Your ego will fight you every step of the way. It will whisper excuses. It will try to blame your circumstances, your past, and other people. You must silence that voice. It's not about finding fault, it's about finding truth. It's not about shame, it's about strategic analysis. You are a surgeon, and the patient on the table is your own weakness. There is no room for emotion. Only the scalpel. This is your next task. This is the autopsy. You will take out a clean sheet of paper, or open a blank document. At the top of the page, you will write this title, My Failure Resume. Now, you will list every single significant goal, project, or resolution you have set for yourself in the last 5 years, and then abandoned. Be brutally honest. Be specific. The online business I planned but never launched. The marathon I signed up for but never trained for. The 30 pounds I swore I would lose but never did. The book I outlined but never wrote. The musical instrument I bought but never mastered. Do not stop until the list is complete. This page is a monument to your own self-sabotage. Now comes the analysis. Next to each and every failure on that list, you will answer one question: why did I really fail? You are forbidden from using external excuses. I didn't have enough time is a lie. Something came up is a lie. You must find the true, internal root cause. Dig deeper. Why did you not have time? Because you chose to spend it on meaningless consumption instead. That is a failure of focus. Why did you stop after the first sign of difficulty? Because you were afraid of not being perfect immediately. That is a failure of courage. Why did you never start in the first place? Because you were afraid of what people would think if you failed. That is a failure of nerve, an addiction to validation. As you do this for every item, a pattern will emerge. The same enemies will appear over and over again. Procrastination. Fear of judgment. Lack of discipline. The need for comfort. Analysis paralysis. You will see, in black and white, the handful of character flaws that are responsible for your entire history of failure. This is the diagnosis. This is the rot in your foundation. That's the key. You have now identified the specific parts of your old self that must be systematically targeted and destroyed. This failure resume is not a source of shame. It is the most important strategic document you will ever create. You have unmasked the enemy within. And now, the entire purpose of your ghost mode becomes clear. It is the perfect, sterile environment designed to starve these specific weaknesses to death. If your enemy is a lack of focus, your one objective is the weapon that kills it. If your enemy is procrastination, your rigid schedule is the weapon that kills it. If your enemy is the fear of judgment, the silent, unseen work you do within your fortress is the weapon that kills it. You have a choice. You can continue to be a victim of these old, tired patterns for the rest of your life, or you can become their executioner. You must kill the person you were to become the person you want to be. This is not a metaphor. You must actively, consciously, and ruthlessly wage war on these identified weaknesses every single day inside your fortress. Every time you follow your schedule when you don't feel like it, you are killing the procrastinator. Every time you push through a difficult task without asking for praise, you are killing the validation seeker. You must kill the person you were to become the person you want to be. This work is not pleasant. This demolition is brutal. As you tear down the rotten structures of your old identity, as you kill off these comfortable, familiar weaknesses, you will be left with a feeling of emptiness. A profound sense of isolation. This loneliness is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that the protocol is working. The noise of your old self is dying down, and all that is left is the quiet, unfamiliar presence of the new you. This feeling is not a weakness. It is a weapon in disguise. It is time to learn how to wield it. That is your next mission, in Chapter 7, Weaponize Your Loneliness. Chapter 7, Weaponize Your Loneliness. The autopsy is complete. The demolition is underway. You are at war with the weaknesses of your old self, and you are following the protocol. There is a predictable consequence to this process. A side effect that you must be prepared for. You will be overcome with a profound and crushing sense of loneliness. Do not be alarmed. This feeling is not a sign that you have made a mistake. It is not a signal to abort the mission. This loneliness is a sign that the protocol is working. It is an intentional and necessary stage of your transformation. You have silenced the world. You have silenced your phone. And now, as the voices of your old, weak habits begin to die, a new, deeper silence emerges. It is the sound of you, alone with the person you are trying to become. You must understand the nature of this loneliness. It is not simply the absence of other people. It is a form of withdrawal. You are withdrawing from the cheap, constant validation of the online world. You are withdrawing from the comfortable anesthetic of endless distraction. You are withdrawing from the old social identity you used as a crutch, the one that relied on the opinions and presence of others to feel whole. The pain you feel is the sound of your chains breaking. And it is supposed to hurt. It's not about being an outcast, it's about being in training. You are training yourself to be self-reliant, and loneliness is the harsh, unforgiving, but masterful instructor. Let's be tactical. Let's walk through the moment the attack comes, because it will come. You are 1 week, perhaps 2, into your ghost mode. The initial excitement has worn off. The brutal, monotonous reality of the daily grind has set in. It is a quiet evening. You have finished your work for the day. And a wave of crushing isolation washes over you. It is a physical ache in your chest. It is a profound sense of being utterly alone. Instantly, the voice of the guard, the voice of your old self, begins to scream. This is wrong. This is unnatural. Human beings are social creatures. You need to connect. Just for a minute. Just check your phone. Just send one message. What's the harm? The urge to break the protocol, to seek the instant comfort of a notification or a familiar voice, will be almost unbearable. The old you would have folded instantly. You would have grabbed your phone, seeking a quick fix for the pain, and in that single moment of weakness, you would have undone everything. But you are a practitioner. You have a protocol for pain. You will execute it now. First, you do not flee. You do not distract. You sit with the feeling. You turn towards it. You let the full force of the loneliness wash over you, and you do not flinch. Second, you acknowledge it. You use your training. You detach and observe. Your internal monologue is calm and analytical. There is a powerful feeling of loneliness present in the body. The mind is generating thoughts of seeking connection. You are not lonely. You are experiencing loneliness. You are the sky, and this is just a storm. Third, and this is the most critical step, you channel it. You have a choice. This intense emotional energy can be a poison that consumes you, or it can be a fuel that ignites you. You will choose to make it fuel. You will stand up, walk to your workstation, and you will pour every ounce of that anxious, painful, desperate energy directly into your one objective. You will write, you will code, you will lift, you will study. You will let the pain of your isolation sharpen your focus into a razor's edge. You have just performed an act of emotional alchemy. You have taken the basest of emotions and transformed it into the gold of progress. That's the key. You have weaponized your own pain. This is the forge of self-reliance. Every time you are faced with that crushing loneliness and you choose to turn to your work instead of to the world, you are burning away your dependence on others. You are teaching yourself, on a deep, cellular level, that you do not need their validation to survive. You do not need their praise to work. You do not need their presence to be whole. You are learning to be enough. You don't need their permission to be your own source of strength. This is the only path to true, unbreakable freedom. The person who cannot be alone is a person who can always be controlled. The person who has mastered their own solitude is a person who is truly sovereign. Loneliness is not a void. It is a forge. Let this be your new command. When the feeling comes, you will not see it as a weakness. You will see it as an opportunity. An opportunity to build your own internal powerhouse, to become your own source of comfort, motivation, and drive. You will welcome the pain as a sign that the transformation is working. Loneliness is not a void. It is a forge. You now have the tool to handle the profound isolation that this path requires. You have learned to take the greatest emotional challenge of ghost mode and turn it into your greatest asset. But this battle, the battle with loneliness, is just one front in a much larger, all-encompassing internal war. The war against every voice of weakness inside your own head. The voice of doubt. The voice of laziness. The voice of fear. The voice of compromise. Learning to defeat those voices, to command your own mind with absolute authority, is the final and most critical stage of your training within the fortress. That is your ultimate mission. In Chapter 8, Win the War Inside Your Own Head. Chapter 8, Win the War Inside Your Own Head. You have done the hard work. You have silenced the external world. You have severed the anchors. You have built your fortress. You have even learned to take the poison of loneliness and turn it into fuel. But now, in the profound quiet you have created, the true enemy finally reveals itself. The enemy is not the algorithm. It is not the opinions of others. It is not your circumstances. The final and most difficult enemy is the insurgency within your own mind. It is the chorus of weak, undisciplined, and fearful voices that represent the old you. The you that you are here to kill. This chapter is your battle plan. This is the manual for winning the war that matters most. The war inside your own head. First, you must identify the enemy combatants. These voices are not random thoughts. They are specific insurgents, each with their own tactics designed to sabotage your mission. There is the negotiator. This is the voice of compromise. It sounds reasonable. It sounds like your friend. It says things like, "You've been so disciplined, you've earned a day off," or "It's okay to break your diet just this once." This is the most dangerous voice, because it cloaks its poison in the language of self-care. Its only goal is to erode your discipline, one small compromise at a time. Then there is the doubter. This is the voice of fear. It attacks your confidence. It whispers, "Are you sure you can do this? What if you fail? You're not smart enough, you're not talented enough, you're not worthy." Its only goal is to paralyze you, to keep you from taking the risks that are necessary for growth. And finally, there is the sluggard. This is the voice of pure entropy and laziness. Its language is simple. Later. Tomorrow. I don't feel like it right now. Its only goal is to drag you back into the warm, comfortable mud of inaction. These voices are not you. They are the death rattles of the person you used to be. They are enemy combatants occupying territory in your mind, and your mission is to systematically eliminate them. Let's watch the battle unfold at the most critical moment of the day. Dawn. The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. It is dark. It is cold. Your bed is warm and comfortable. This is the first test. The insurgents launch their coordinated attack. The sluggard speaks first. "No. Just hit the snooze button. 10 more minutes." Before you can even respond, the negotiator joins the assault. "You know, you worked late last night. You really need the sleep. It would be more productive to rest and work harder this afternoon." And as you hesitate, the doubter comes in for the kill. "What's the point of getting up this early anyway? It's not going to make a difference. You'll probably just waste the time." The old you, the undisciplined you, would have listened. You would have negotiated. And you would have surrendered. You would have hit the snooze button, and you would have lost the first and most important battle of the day before you were even fully conscious. But you are not the old you. You are the commander. And you have a protocol for this. The moment you hear the first word from the first insurgent, you recognize it as an act of treason. You do not debate with traitors. You do not negotiate with the enemy. You issue a swift and absolute countercommand. Your internal voice, the voice of the coach you have been cultivating, cuts through the noise. It is loud. It is clear. And it is the only authority. It says, "That is the voice of weakness. That is the voice of the old self. We do not listen to that voice. We execute the protocol. Feet on the floor. Now. And you act. You throw the blankets off and plant your feet on the cold floor. The physical action is the victory. You have proven, in that one decisive moment, who is in command. That's the key. The war is won not in a single, grand battle, but in 1,000 of these small, brutal victories over your own impulses. You must adopt a new doctrine for this internal war. These are your rules of engagement. Rule 1, never negotiate. The moment you begin a debate with a weak voice in your head, you have already begun to lose. The voice of discipline does not offer suggestions. It issues orders. Rule 2, action is the antidote. The voices of doubt and laziness thrive in stillness. They are powerless against a body in motion. The simple, physical act of starting, standing up, opening the book, sitting at the desk, is what silences the insurgency. Rule 3, treat weakness with contempt. You must stop treating these voices as if they are a valid part of you. They are not. They are a virus in the system. It's not about hating yourself, it's about having a disciplined and righteous contempt for the weakest parts of yourself. Scorn them. See them as pathetic. They do not deserve your consideration. Your mind is your subordinate. Command it. You do not ask your mind if it feels like working. You tell it that it is time to work. You do not ask its permission to be disciplined. You impose discipline upon it. You are the sovereign. You are the authority. This is the ultimate responsibility of a person who has chosen to live a deliberate life. You have a choice. You can be a servant to the whims of your own chaotic mind, or you can be its master. Your mind is your subordinate. Command it. This internal authority is the true reward of ghost mode. This is the power you have been forging in the silence and the loneliness. It is the core of your new identity. The war is being won. The protocol is almost complete. Your new self is taking command. And soon, it will be time for that new self to re-enter the world. But you will not return the same person who left. You will return as the commander. Now, you must learn how to reintegrate. That is your final mission briefing, in Chapter 9, the re-entry, emerge, don't announce. Chapter 9, the re-entry, emerge, don't announce. The work is done. The objective has been met. The fortress has served its purpose. The war inside your head has been won, and a new commander is in charge. You have survived the silence. You have endured the loneliness. You have forged a new self in the quiet discipline of the protocol. You have earned your victory. But be warned. The final and most subtle test is upon you. The test of re-entry. Having operated in the shadows for so long, the temptation to emerge into the light with a thunderous announcement will be immense. Your ego, starved for months, will be screaming for a victory parade. It will demand that you show the world what you have done. You must deny it this satisfaction. To do otherwise is to undo everything. The way you return to the world is the final exam. It is the ultimate proof of your transformation. The performer, the addict who still craves validation, finishes their work and immediately feels the itch. The itch to post. The itch to be seen. They believe that the work is not truly real until it has been validated by an audience. This is the final lie of the weak ego. It proves that, despite all the effort, the work was still, on some level, for them. It's not about being secretive, it's about protecting the integrity of the work. You did not endure the silence and the loneliness for their applause. You did it for you. To seek their praise now is to cheapen the entire endeavor. It is to take something sacred and offer it up to the meaningless judgment of the crowd. Let's observe the two paths of re-entry. The person who followed the protocol to write a book finally types the last word of their manuscript. The performer, the one who is still a slave to their ego, immediately takes a picture of the final page. They post it on every social media platform with a triumphant caption, 90 days of ghost mode is officially over. I'm back. And I finished the first draft of my novel. So proud of the grind. It's all about the work. They are flooded with likes, comments, and congratulations. It is a powerful, addictive rush. But they have achieved nothing in the real world. They have simply announced an intention. Now, watch the builder. The true practitioner. They type the last word of their manuscript. They close the laptop. They take a quiet, deep breath, feeling the profound, internal satisfaction of a promise kept to themselves. The next day, their first action is not to post, but to produce. They draft a query letter, attach the manuscript, and silently send it to a list of literary agents. They have not made a single announcement. They have taken the next logical step. The work is the only announcement that matters. The person who got in shape does not post a dramatic, before and after, photo, begging for the world to notice their transformation. They simply show up at the next social gathering. They are calm. They are confident. They do not talk about their diet. They do not mention their training. They let the transformation speak for itself. The quiet, undeniable evidence of their discipline is 1,000 times more powerful than any boastful post. That's the key. Your new mode of operation is this: let your results be the noise. You remain silent. This is your protocol for re-entry. These are your new rules for engagement with the world. Rule 1: no grand announcements. You do not post that you are back. You simply reappear. You slowly and deliberately re-engage with the essential parts of your life. There is no fanfare. There is no press release. Your return is a quiet, gradual sunrise, not a sudden explosion. Rule 2: be an enigma. When people inevitably notice the change in you, your new physique, your intense focus, your unshakable calm, they will ask you what you have been doing. You must resist the urge to tell them your story. You must resist the desire to explain the protocol. Your answer is simple, understated, and leaves them wanting more. I've just been focused on a project. Or, I just decided to cut out distractions for a while. Give them nothing. Let them wonder. Your quiet mystery is more compelling than any story you could tell. Rule 3: integrate, do not revert. You are re-entering their world, but you are not reverting to their rules. The war is over, but you are not a peacetime civilian. You are a disciplined soldier, and you will maintain your discipline. Your phone stays on silent. Your schedule remains structured. Your objective remains your priority. You have a choice. You can allow the noise of the world to slowly and surely drag you back down to the person you were, or you can bring the discipline of the fortress out into the world with you. You are a sovereign nation, re-establishing diplomatic ties with its neighbors. You will be polite. You will engage. But you will operate under your own laws. You don't need their permission to live a disciplined life in their midst. Let your results be the noise. You remain silent. This is the final proof of your transformation. It demonstrates that you are no longer addicted to being seen. You have become your own source of validation. The work itself is the reward. You have emerged. But you are not the same person who disappeared. You have a new internal code. A new operating system. The final challenge is to learn how to live by that code, every day, in a world that will constantly try to force you back into the old, comfortable, and mediocre role it remembers for you. That is your final mission. It is your life's work. To learn how to live the code, in Chapter 10, Live the Code, Not the Role. Chapter 10, Live the Code, Not the Role. The protocol is complete. The re-entry is over. The mission, as we defined it, has come to an end. You have stepped back into the world. But you have not returned as the person who left. You must understand this critical truth. Ghost mode was not the destination. It was the forge. It was the harsh, silent, and lonely training ground where the raw material of your old self was melted down and hammered into something new. Something sharp. Something strong. Something disciplined. The purpose was never just to complete a 90-day challenge. The purpose was to build a weapon. That weapon is your new identity. This final chapter is not about a task to be completed. It is about the philosophy you will now live by for the rest of your days. It is about how you will carry the discipline of the fortress with you, forever. To understand this new way of life, you must first understand the fundamental conflict you will now face every single day. The conflict between your role and your code. The world assigns you a role. In fact, it assigns you many. At work, your role is your job title: analyst, manager, assistant. In your family, your role is son, daughter, parent, sibling. In your social circle, your role might be the funny one, the quiet one, the reliable one. These roles are external. They are defined by others. And they come with a powerful, unspoken set of expectations about how you should act, what you should say, and who you should be. For your entire life, you have been an actor, playing these roles without question. But in the silence of the fortress, you forged something else. You forged a code. Your code is your internal, non-negotiable operating system. It is a set of principles you have earned through discipline. The principles of focus, of silence, of self-reliance, of deliberate action. Your code is not defined by others. It is defined by you. It is who you truly are. The ultimate test of your transformation will come when the expectations of your role conflict with the principles of your code. And they will conflict every single day. Let's watch this conflict play out. You are back in your old job. Your assigned role is team member. The role expects you to be available for constant interruptions. It expects you to attend every meeting, regardless of its purpose. It expects you to participate in the meaningless office gossip by the coffee machine because that is what team players do. But you no longer live by the role. You live by your code. Your code of focus dictates that your attention is your most valuable currency. So, you politely decline meetings that have no clear agenda. You put on headphones and enter a 2-hour block of deep, uninterrupted work, ignoring the distracting chat notifications. When others gather to gossip, you quietly get up and go back to your desk. You are physically present, playing the necessary parts of your role. But you are mentally sovereign. You are operating by the laws of your own internal fortress. People will notice. They may find you different, distant, even strange. They are reacting to the fact that you have stopped playing your part in their script. That's the key. You don't need their permission to be disciplined. Your commitment is to your code, not to their comfort. Consider your social life. Your assigned role might be the easygoing friend. The role expects you to be available 24/7 in the group chat, to have an opinion on every piece of drama, to spend hours in shallow, repetitive conversation. But you live by your code. Your code of deliberate action dictates that you engage meaningfully or not at all. You will not be a source of noise. You will silence the endless notifications from the group chat and check it once a day. You will not offer an opinion on matters that do not concern you. You will show up for your friends with your full, undivided presence, but you will not allow your time to be consumed by the trivial. It's not about being a bad friend, it's about being a disciplined one. It is about valuing your own focus and bringing a higher quality of presence to the moments that truly matter. The world assigns you a role. You live by your code. This is the new philosophy. Ghost mode is no longer a place you go to. It is a set of principles you carry within you. The fortress is no longer a physical room, it is the disciplined architecture of your own mind. You can access its silence and its power in the middle of a crowded subway car. You can activate your protocol for a single, focused hour in the middle of a chaotic open-plan office. You have a choice in every single moment of every single day. You can act according to the role that has been assigned to you by the world, or you can act according to the code you have forged for yourself in the fire. The sum of these choices will be the quality of your life and the legacy you leave behind. The training is over. The real work, the lifelong work, has just begun. The world will never stop trying to pull you back. It will tempt you with distraction. It will try to lure you back into the comfortable, predictable role it remembers for you. Your mission is to hold the line. The world assigns you a role. You live by your code. This is the final principle. This is the culmination of everything you have endured. You began this journey as a product, a distracted performer, a slave to the opinions of others and the whims of your own weak mind. You have ended it as a builder, as a master, as the quiet, undisputed commander of your own life. Your transformation is now complete. Your new life begins now. You have been given the protocol. You understand the mission. You know that the noise is a trap, that validation is a poison, and that silence is where power is built. You have learned to sever the anchors, to build your fortress, to execute the autopsy of your old self, and to win the war inside your own head. The path of the world is loud. It is a path of shallow distraction, constant performance, and quiet desperation. You now have the map to a different path. A path that is silent. A path that is lonely. A path that is hard. But it is the only path that leads to a new you. The choice is yours. And the choice is now. This knowledge is worthless if you do not act. The person you are will fight to keep you from disappearing. Your comfort will scream for you to stay. This is your first command. When this audio ends, do not open another app. Do not browse another feed. Pick one anchor, one distraction, and sever it permanently. Your ghost mode protocol does not start tomorrow. It starts now.